A little different than what we're used to, huh?
This is weird. I'm usually holding you guys, vlog style. Shoot. How do I even start this? I guess we should just do the intro like normally, right? Yo, what I do appreciate y'all watching another video. As you can see, the setup is quite different. As you can see by the title, this is going to be a 1-year review of my Z06. So I bought the Z06 in May of 2024, so it's been just a little over a year since I've had it, and I've put about 10,000 miles in the car since owning it, so it's given me plenty of time to figure out what I like and what I dislike about the car. So I kind of want to give a little background before we start on why I did pick this car. So it was back last year. I was looking to buy my next car, and I kind of narrowed down all my choices, and it was really between this Z06 or a G82 M4. So obviously you guys know which one I ended up bringing home. It wasn't the G82, but a few of the big reasons why I did end up going with the Z06 was just on paper. It was faster, it had more horsepower, it was a lot lighter, it was a lot torquier, and honestly, if we're just talking exhausts, I love BMWs, bro, big BMW guy, but dude, after the E92 M3, the exhaust sound fell off, and you really cannot beat the sound of an American V8. Another thing I told myself when I was looking to buy this car, or either car for the matter, any car I buy this time around has to be like the perfect spec as to what I want it. And Corvette's always kind of been a dream car of mine, so I'm like, I want that like dream spec, which was I needed it to have a manual transmission, I needed it to have the competition seats, and I really needed it to have like that carbon fiber, the dry carbon fiber on the dash. Those were kind of like my non-negotiables. Everything else was like, it's fixable, I can change it. I did want originally the, what is it called? Glen Watkins Gray or Watkins Glen Gray? One of those two. It was like that dark gunmetal gray color. I wanted that color originally because my last car was blue. I'm like, I think I just want like a subtle color now, but life has a funny way of coming full circle and giving you another blue car. But honestly, I do love the color. I don't see a lot of people with this color, and I get a lot of compliments on it too, so it ended up working out. Blue is definitely one of my favorite colors, and I think it just looks so great on this car. It really complements all the curves and the lines the car has. Yeah, so aside from this being pretty much my dream spec, this car is really the best bang for your buck. It's got 650 horsepower, 650 foot-pound of torque. It's super lightweight. I think it weighs like 35 or 3,600 pounds, something like that. And it's got like crazy weight distribution. I think it's almost 50-50. I want to say it's 49-50 weight distribution. So it's just all around just a really well-built car. All around, it's just a super versatile car. Like, you want a car for dig races, Z06. You want a car for roll races, Z06. You want a car for track days, Z06. You want a car to hit the canyon, Z06. You want a car to drive to the back of the Wendy's parking lot so you can beat one out, Z06, man. Now, like, jokes aside, dude, like, this car is so versatile. It's really great for almost anything you want to do. It's great for like something casual, like a sporty casual car. You can turn it into some competitive race car, and it literally does both so well. So while we're on the topic of talking about what this car can do, I've had a few people ask me if I daily drive this thing, and me personally, I don't daily drive mine, but I do know a lot of people that do daily drive their C7s, whether it's the Grand Sport, Stingray, even the Z06s. I've seen a lot of people daily drive them. So they are definitely daily drivable. I think mine is just modified to the point where it wouldn't be as fun daily driving it. This is more of a car where you want the open roads, you want to go out and have fun with it. I think it would just get a little boring just sitting in traffic or doing the daily commute. If you're going to buy this car and it's going to be your only car, I would say go easy on the modifications if you are daily driving it, because depending on what you're doing, if you're making the car really fast, the thing is you're not going to have a lot of fun with it on the street. But that goes for any car really. I actually have a coworker who drives his Grand Sport, C7 Grand Sport to work. It's really cool, and he's like an older dude, so he fits that Corvette unk vibe. But yeah, so it's definitely a daily drivable car. You can definitely do it, especially if you don't have the competition seats. I think the regular seats on the C7 are fairly comfortable, so you can get away with driving that thing every day a lot more comfortably than you could in something like this. Now, obviously, with mods come more issues, but mods aside, let's talk getting a stock C7 Z06. A big concern that's usually brought up for any sports car is maintenance. A lot of people are concerned that their maintenance is going to be crazy, that they're going to have a lot of problems with the car, stuff's going to be breaking left and right. And what I've found true after owning a few cars is nothing is so much bound to break unless you're not taking care of it. I think the same applies for any type of car. Like you could have a Toyota Camry, and if you don't get your oil changes on it, eventually something's gonna give out. If you're not, doing some regular maintenance, stuff's gonna give out. But these sports cars aren't any different. It's not like you have to go out and over maintain them just to make sure they run right. As long as you're doing your regular maintenance and the regular checks, whatever it is, I feel like you can get these cars to run just as long as these, commuter cars like the Camrys and the Honda Civics. So for me personally, after a year of owning this car, I have really only done the regular maintenance, which would be like my oil change, spark plugs and all that. Aside from that, I've really only had two major maintenance issues, and I don't even think these are really common issues with this car. I think I just got unlucky. The first one was around the first few months of owning this car. I think it was like 3 or 4 months in of owning this car. My radiator had actually gotten a puncture in it, so my radiator was leaking and then it caused the car to overheat. But that's not really a common issue. You're not gonna have like a cracked radiator or punctured radiator just when you buy this car. That was just like an unfortunate thing that happened to me. The second thing that I've dealt with in this car, which again, I don't think is a common problem, at least to my knowledge, it's not a common problem. The actuator for the blend door in my AC unit is actually stuck. So what that means is that the vents that shoot AC out are basically shut closed. So that's been pretty unfortunate driving around, especially if you live in SoCal, it's been hot here. Driving around in the SoCal weather with no AC coming out of those vents has been a little bit of a struggle, but at the end of the day, it's not something you're gonna, run into. I haven't really heard that complaint from anyone else that I know that owns a C7, whether it be a Z06, Grand Sport, or the base model, whatever it is. I feel like that's just one of those like unlucky issues you could run into. The only real issue I've heard that the C7s have that I know is kind of like a common problem among a lot of C7 owners is if you have a C7 that has the OEM wheels, apparently they are known to crack, I believe. I've personally never had OEM wheels on this car. When I bought the car, it had aftermarket wheels on it. It had the black ZR1 style wheels, if you guys remember those. Then I switched it out to these. So I've never dealt with that issue personally, but off of the people that I've talked to and some reading that I've done, that's the only real issue that I know people run into with these cars. Now, I think the big question is that if I had to make the decision again today of buying a car, let's say I didn't have this car yet, and I had to buy another car, I think my options would still be around the C7 Z06, the G82 M4, and I think you can get the base model C8 Stingray, I believe, for around that same price now. But let's look at it this way. The C8 is, the newest Corvette. Definitely, I love the interior of the C8s, but if you're getting the C8, the base model, I think it's definitely lacking some of that punch that you would expect from a Corvette, especially something that's mid-engine and super new. Obviously, it's good in its own right. I feel like it would make a sick daily driver, fun weekend car. But I like a car with a little bit more soul, a little bit more, like you step on the gas and the car is trying to kill you type of feeling. So that kind of eliminates the C8 for me. The G82 M4, I still think is such a cool car. I would love to have one, but if I had to pick over the C7 Z06, I don't think I could make that choice to pick the G82, just because the G82s and G80s, the M3s and M4s, they're so common in LA, man. Like, if you live in LA and you've been to a car meet, you know you're gonna see at least like 20 to 30 G80s, G82s popping out. And of course, super cool cars. I would love to, add one to the collection one day, but I just don't think I could see myself picking that car over the C7Z06. Anyways, I know this was a little bit of a different type of video than what I normally do, but I just realized it has been like a year since I've owned the car, so I kind of wanted to give my input with my experience in 1 year owning this car. Now, someone else could have a completely different experience. That's why I think it's always good to get multiple perspectives. It's really just like reading reviews. Like, if you're gonna buy something, like, one person could have had a great experience with something, and then that same product, someone else could be like, yo, this is the worst thing I've ever bought, or like, do not buy this. So it's cool to get different people's perspectives on it. And I hope that if someone watching this is getting ready to buy their next car, or getting ready to buy a sports car, that the C7Z06 at least, pops up on their radar now, or is something that they're gonna be looking at. Because it really is an amazing car. Over the past year that I've owned it, I genuinely have not had a single regret about owning the car. Never once have I thought that I would get rid of it for anything else. I joke all the time on video about it, like, oh, I'm gonna trade this car and my E63 in for a GT3. But realistically, at the end of the day, I've thought about it. Even if someone offered me a 1-for-1 trade, like a GT3 for my C7Z06, I don't think I could do it. As tempting as it is, I just think this car is way too fun. It just does everything you want it to do. You can build it any which way you want. It's so versatile. Amazing looking car for a 10-year-old car, dude. This is a 2015. For a 10-year-old car, I think it just looks great, timeless, and dude, it's everything about it. It sounds great, it looks great, drives great. Can't really beat it, bro, especially for the price. Anyways, I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
Another day, I wake up, find my purpose, what's my worth? Sun is out, but you still cloudy. Wipe them tears up off your shirt. Could be worse, so I put in work. All this pain, gotta put it in my verse. Marijuana straight, help put it in reverse. Since I was a baby, felt like I was cursed. Another